everybody. Clearing. Okay, I was gonna go to bed tonight, but I couldn't, so here we are. I'm gonna do a deep dive into Divine Masculines. I am gonna see what you are clearing karmically, Divine Masculines, what you are healing, and the emerging next steps for life purpose. What is in the energy? I'm gonna get some advice, how to navigate some of that. I'm feeling to just get one card on each of those levels, and then I'm going to see where that is affecting the connection on an intimate level and on an energetic level, and then I'm going to do the Divine Masculine check-in with advice for the Divine Masculines. So here we go. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for the Twin Collective that joins me here? What are the Divine Masculines navigating right now karmically? With healing and in purpose, on purpose coming in. So, okay, karmically speaking, I just actually heard with the star card, they're remembering their star-seeded destined paths, like they've healed enough or they've gone through enough of the karma that they are wanting to get up and out of the mundane, the world. This is like an ascended focus, looking to the stars rather than of the earth plane. Remembering the stars, remembering a bigger cosmology, a bigger vantage point to life, a deeper meaning in life. So I'm going to pull some clarifiers on that. For some, I'm feeling that they're longing for more, thinking there's got to be a better way, and they're hearing that call. I'm getting for some, because there's a feminine here on this star card, that the masculines are looking at the feminines in their empowerment in the world for some, and taking some kind of inspiration, seeing the light their feminine is in the world and wishing to join them there. I'm getting that feeling like the feminine doesn't know that the masculine is watching and just doing them, and the masculine is paying attention when you least suspect it. I just heard feminines. And taking notes on what is possible in life. So what can we see for the Divine Masculines on this sort of stargazing, looking at the cosmos for answers, for inspiration, for comfort, for context, for belonging, not feeling like they fit in the world? I'm hearing if you don't fit into the paradigm that you've been born into, you were born into it to change it. So Divine Masculines, yes, your star path, your larger than mundane life invitation is beckoning you onward. So what can we see for the masculines hearing the call on their heart right now that there has to be a better way? Wow, 10 of Cups. So that is the, heaven on earth kind of vibe. Looking through the confusion, and wow, we've got the polar opposites. We've got this utopian energy, and then this trenches of anxiety and the confusion, the in-between, the spectrum. So Divine Masculines, everything that you've experienced in your life is a spectrum. Every set of dualities, pairs of opposites, polar opposites, creates a spectrum. This is saying that you have the full spectrum experience, that as you come through the karmas, the different challenges, the different things that you've been dealt in this life, that this is qualifying you to be a specialist in finding middle, finding the keys that help you balance out these extremes and come into the mastery. Here there is this maiden with the alchemical mixing, and That is the harmonization of dualities. So your purpose is to take the extremes that you personally have lived and to bring them into balance, into temperance, into mastery for your life. Not everyone has the same karmic path. So divine masculines, you've been entrusted, star-seeded in as a specialist in the extremes that you have particularly encountered. And this is saying you are this magician in the midst of this spectrum that you've experienced, and it is up to you to compose a reality with all of those things factored. That you are the calibrator, you are the technician, that is the virtuoso of your spectrum of experience. And exactly the solutions that you can discern, the harmonization of these energies that you can discern, that's your life purpose. That is your star path. That is your niche. And it happens organically as you sift and sort your life, your experiences, your gifts, your talents, your insights, your triumphs, your weaknesses, your faults. You know, we are just love at the core. So if you do have weaknesses or faults, those are usually traumas. Those are usually areas where you felt unworthy or unlovable. So it's time to take an overview, divine masculines. Take cue from the stars. They see it all from a distance. Be like a star. Look at the big picture. There is something about the stars watching over us, or when somebody rises to that level of acclaim, being able to see an overview like that, that is magical. And so you are learning how to think on these larger cosmologies and to bring that down to the earth plane in a real way, divine masculines, because you've experienced your spectrum of karma. What can we see for the healing? 7 of Swords. So there's so much going on under the surface in your life. You may think that nobody knows this. You're looking over your shoulder wondering if anybody's starting to catch on, is what I'm getting, divine masculines. There's so much change. This journey, if you're watching this for a twin flame journey, you have been touched by an angel, I just heard, by your divine connection. Your life is not the same anymore, and you're starting to notice that you cannot go back to the way that you used to look at things. Your preferences have changed, your mindset has changed, your thoughts have changed. You've become a different sort of being. You're beginning to very much integrate these truths on the journey. It's holding 4 of Swords, and that's the integration, the knowing. The 3 of Swords are the heartache that's being released there. What advice can we get for this healing, the integration of the wisdom, the release of the heartache? I had a feeling this Queen of Swords was going to come out. 3 of Pentacles. So you're seeing the deeper patterns. The Queen of Swords in the reverse for me are the unhealed templates. I'm even hearing narcissist templates. So divine masculines, there is a deep level of psychological healing and new truths being forged, new independent, heart-based, aligned truths being found. Deeper truths are sinking in, deeper than skin deep, than the 3D, than the mundane. This deeper understanding. You're into the core levels of awareness, that into your subconscious, into the feminine, the yin, the passive, the subtle aspects of yourself. And you're finding new ways of looking at things that you used to take for granted. that you used to escape, run, delude yourself. So there's a lot of healing. I'm hearing certain things don't measure up because you've experienced such a wide range of karmas. A lot of your assumptions, your naive assumptions, your immature assumptions can no longer hold water. And so the faulty logic of, those who raised you, those that you hang around that haven't seen with the depth and clarity that you see with, those individuals, their sentiments, their cautions, their curses, their way of looking at things, you are seeing through it, and you're coming to your own independent truth. As this sinks in, you're seeing how much of that is based in fear, and that there is a better way. There is a more productive way to look at things. What can we see for the life purpose emerging? We get a prosperous new beginning. So there is potentially for some a change of career. For some, it's taking careers to the next level. The definition of genius is using things that are already there in new ways. And so I'm getting that there is this next level kind of innovation that you are beginning to bring out into the physical. Possibly out of necessity, and absolutely out of your wisdom and first-hand experience and know-how. What can we see for advice for the masculines? Three of Cups and Nine of Cups, both in the reverse. So this is surplus of choice. Like, the Nine of Cups can be gluttony, it can be excess, it can be fluff, it can be the too extra kind of energies that aren't really adding value to existence, but there's just this too much. In the reverse, you're seeing how to streamline into the essential, and that goes hand in hand with third parties, other romantic options being released. You don't need so much spectrum, so much option, so much variety. You know yourself, and it shows in the physical. It's sinking in who you really are, who you've become, what your preferences are, and you don't need things to fill the void anymore. People or things to give off some sort of an impression that isn't just this basic, simple, straightforward expression of who you really are. So again, feminines, the masculines are letting go of other romantic options because they know themselves well enough now to let go of those things and to see them for lessons and not have to keep everything there just in case they didn't think of everything. So let's have a look at what is all of this energy we've just seen doing for the intimate connection between counterparts. Okay, Page of Roses, Knight of Feathers, the Moon and the Fool, and Nine of Feathers. Okay, so let's have a look. See which ones I need to censor. Page of Roses. If you crave a youthfully exuberant, eager to learn presence in your life, the Page of Roses is your gal. Curious about the body, she has studied where all the erogenous zones are and what tools and tricks you need to work with them. Like a grown-up version of the board game Operation. She's a natural but needs space to develop emotionally too. I'm getting with this that This represents the curiosity of how the two can explore sexuality together from a more knowledgeable of self kind of way, and to really see what each know in the connection. A youthful playfulness, a beginner's eyes. So the masculines want to experience, let go of all histories and start fresh with the sexual connection in a more playful, inquisitive way is what I'm hearing. We get Knight of Feathers. This is in the reverse. Don't argue just for the sake of it or cover up your true desires. So the masculines don't want to keep causing drama, and they don't want to cover up their true desires anymore. With that Seven of Swords, that's a card of deluding ourselves. They want to be much more authentic to the truth of the love here. They don't want to cause drama. They don't want to say they don't love you. They don't want to say goodbye. They don't want to block. They don't want to act out in the connection. They don't mean that. They actually want to express their true desires. They've been too scared to approach the connection, hesitant to approach the connection in an open way without fear of consequence in some regard. This feels very much like they're calming themselves down and saying, do you see me now? I see you now. Let's start here. Like actually seeing each other, not the wild imaginings in our minds. There's just a hush in the energy, like a softening and a pause, but not between. It feels like an invitation to be in presence together. What else can we see? The Nine of Feathers. Oh, woe is you, churning anxiety caused by an unfortunate chain of events, or caused by anxiety, the slow birth pangs of a great realization. Wow, so divine masculines are understanding that they've caused anxiety, but they've had anxiety. Pay attention to that, divine masculines, because that is part of this karmic spectrum that you got in the first set of cards. This is the same card as the anxiety card with that heaven and hell kind of spectrum that you've lived regarding relationships. And in whichever lens that you've had the anxiety with as it relates to relationships, you're seeing that anxiety is an instructive frequency. It tells us something about ourselves, and it doesn't stem from coincidence. It's not just an ambiguous, undefinable, like the source of it doesn't need to be undefined. The realization I'm getting here is that self-sabotage, self-fulfilling prophecies, anxiety is there as an instruction to tell us we are far out of alignment in what we're thinking or the way that we are perceiving a situation. When we have anxiety regarding a person, sometimes we're putting ourselves in harm's way and we have no business going there. Or sometimes we're thinking of that person or the scenario through a falsehood, a false paradigm. And so what I'm getting here is the masculines are understanding that karmic situations cause anxiety because their higher self is telling them, or their intuitive faculties are telling them not to go that way. And that they've had anxiety in these connections because they've been misinterpreting the way they're looking at them. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so this is the slow birth pangs of a great realization that they've had it flip-flopped between karmic payoff and healthy connection. Payoff. And they want to see what a healthy connection can be like to explore. They don't know where it will go or how they'll feel, but they realize they can start fresh in this sense because it is not like anything else they have encountered before. The Fool and the Moon. So this is the promise of a new beginning that is starting to be revealed. The Moon in the inverse is an opening of the secrets. The Fool in the inverse is not quite the leap of faith yet. Let's get a read. The Moon. Be aware of deceptions. Things may not be what they seem. A fear of genuine intimacy or losing control. Oh, the passion here. It could very well let you lose control, right, Divine Masculines? And a fear of genuine intimacy. So, intimacy with nothing to lose, casual, or with people we don't respect, or who are cheapening themselves or others because they are engaging in things prematurely or without awareness. Those things are often chosen because they're familiar or safe, but these connections are an entirely different thing. So Divine Masculines, part of this pangs of the new realization is that these connections offer genuine intimacy, and the anxiety associated with that has been a very big indicator that it's a growing pain. It's uncharted territory. You haven't encountered this before. And it brings a whole spectrum of consideration. We're seeing that you're getting through most of that because these connections are standing the test of time, because your feminine does love you unconditionally. You're starting to realize that you have been afraid of genuine intimacy in these connections. That can only mean one thing, that you're ready to look that monster in the eye, not the genuine intimacy, but the fear of it, and say, because I can be conscious of that now, because I can recognize it for what it is, that means I'm able to release it, because when we can be conscious of something, we've learned. So if that is what you are aware of, that you are starting to realize you've been self-sabotaging and pushing true love away, Divine Masculines, this means it's not weakness to admit it to yourself. It's dawning on you. I can see that in the energy. And the Fool. Timing is everything. In the reverse. Is there something you could be unaware of? Perhaps a foolish obsession. So many things are coming to mind, like it's easier not to be connected to someone. A foolish obsession of telling us that we'll lose control if we go towards our happiness, that we'll somehow be an egomaniac, that we're somehow not mature if we take the easy way and go towards ultimate pleasure. A foolish obsession with keeping love at bay, Divine Masculines. I think that would be the most foolish obsession of all. This is a big day of reckoning, I reckon. What can we see for what this energy the masculines are in, this realization is doing energetically in the masculines? What is the cutting edge for where the Divine Masculines are with this realization? This is the doorway to warmth, wholeness, and well-being, belonging, and your spiritual gifts. Mystery, enchantment, and secrets, chamber of initiation, and golden seed. So divine masculines, yes, you are opening your path to well-being and wholeness because you are letting real intimacy in, wanting to start fresh with beginner's eyes and explore it, and putting down the foolish obsession of keeping love at bay until you've been sure it's not all been for nothing. Okay, what can we see for the feminines having heard all of these? Divination, honor, responsibility, and humility. This is an inside job. So divine feminines, you are meant to take this as an honor that you've been somebody that has stood by this person and had eyes to see, ears to hear their journey, and not given up and not rejected and not taken it personally for long or at all, and allowed it this sacred responsibility to help birth these love connections into the physical, into the earth plane. Let that sink in. It's its own reward. You don't need that external recognition. This is a time for you to see that you've done that and to congratulate yourself for loving. Divine feminines. How beautiful. Okay, so I just, we're not ever talking about putting up with abuse. We're talking about loving at a distance and knowing that the difficulties the masculines have had coming into their own are like the things that the feminines have struggled with. And just unconditional love allows for those things to be an autonomous, sovereign pursuit. Everybody is responsible for their own becoming, their own healing, their own understanding of their inspired life paths. And all the counterparts are witnessing each other and themselves coming into this more and more. Just think about how far you've grown since you began this journey. I would wager that most on this journey don't even recognize themselves compared to when they started this. Okay, so let's see what the masculines are thinking about the connections, about their divine counterpart. Feeling on the heart space, and directly for their divine counterpart. What are the wishes? What are the actions? Biggest challenges, solutions, and direction in the near future. I just saw the Ace of Cups. That's not going to come out, but I did see it. Okay, conscious mind for these connections. 3D and the 5D showing up together. The 3 of coins, the 5 of coins. So this is between the worlds. I heard sliding between the dimensions. The divine masculines can now see things from these different perspectives through the mundane and the extra sensory interpretation of the things that have gone on in these mystical, magical, unexplainable, explainable journeys. There is a spectrum here as well, because they see the extraordinary nature of the connection through the good times and bad, sickness and health, all of that stuff. The connections remain strong. The magician, yeah, without even trying. Magician in the inverse is a magnetic energy because it's that inside awareness of worth and insight, value, witnessing without doing into the world. For me, this card is giving this impression that the masculines understand that what they believe internally is seen externally. What can we see for how they're looking at their divine counterpart? This is the life purpose emerging. I still don't think I've had a reading since last November where the Ace of Wands hasn't shown up. And this is the soul purpose. This is the next level, the niche, the solutions that we're each bringing in as we heal our karma. So yeah, this foundation is being laid, and they see this connection as they invest in it going hand in hand with seeing what is possible in life, a more inspired way of living and being in the world. With who? The Queen of Pentacles. So this Knight of Pentacles is gaining speed fast, the Knight and the Queen. So the Knight is catching up to speed to match you as a King of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the Knight that always makes it to the King, becomes the King of Pentacles. The other Knights, it's a toss-up, but the Knight of Pentacles always comes into fullness as the King of Pentacles, and here's the Queen of Pentacles. So they know that reaching their potential, their embodied knowing about what is important in life, knowing themselves, getting out of karmic patterns, doing the things they're guided to do for a higher purpose, even if they haven't arrived fully at that or know fully what it is, because this was in the reverse. So they may not even see it coming in the way that it will eventually emerge, but they're putting one foot in front of the other, and they do know that the changes happening in their lives, the things they are releasing, the growing love and investment in this connection that they want to earnestly show up and work on, lay the foundation of, goes hand in hand with the revelation of how they can give back, how they can contribute in this life more fully. And they want to do that with you hand in hand, I just heard, with you by their side. Give me some time, I'm getting there, I just heard. You got it, Divine Masculines. What can we see for the heart space for these connections? Yeah, bravely, they know that no matter what they could do, no matter how much abundance they could amass, if they don't have love, if they don't have you in their life, they will have nothing. And that is a brave truth that's emerging. That's another one of those painful realizations, is that keeping love at bay creates a hollow existence, that letting the love in and celebrating, bravely celebrating this love, this extraordinary connection, brings true abundance into whatever material goals and successes they thought they were going towards. And Seven of Swords, yes, that's a confirmation. That was the first card where the masculines were letting it sink in and releasing heartache. They're not deluding themselves. They're starting to see these realizations. In the inverse like this, it means that they are, in fact, starting to see through their delusions, seeing through the flip-flop of energy that we saw a little bit earlier in the reading, where they were going towards karmic situations and running from true intimacy. This is being shown, because at the end of the day, all those karmic pursuits are hollow if they don't have what their heart says, what they know, what sits right with their heart. When they think of you, their heart goes, ah. I heard some of them say, if only. Stay with that, Divine Masculine, because where there is a will, there's a way. And if that is your truth, if only, you're guaranteed success. What can we see for the heart space for the feminine? Wishing for it, wanting to manifest it. The indigo talks about the star-seeded instructions, the downloads, the transmissions, the innovations that are set to come in for people whose hearts are in the right place, for people who really want to make a contribution who love enough to be of service, who want to change the world, who are born into these paradigms to change them. They wish for that. They wish to show you that part of themselves. Your love allows them to believe in themselves and their ideas that they've been suppressing, the version of reality that they've been downtrodden thinking couldn't exist in their lifetime. You are an inspiration to them to bring those ideas to life, to bring those things through. You are the person that would think those things were worthy, valid. They're starting to see they need you on their team. They need someone like you in their life. The dreamer. We're living the lucid dream, everybody, and the divine masculines know there's no lucid dreamer like you that they could think of that could be more fun, more compatible, and more audacious than you, divine feminine. Yeah, the lovers. Nobody out there can bring in this awareness like you can and live by it fearlessly, authentically. It's not for show. Your divine counterpart knows you're the real deal, divine feminine. They deeply know that on the heart space, that you are the real deal, and they want more of that. I'm hearing that Anais Nin quote again. One day it became more painful to remain in the bud than to blossom. And that is the energy we are seeing here. Holding back intimacy hurts more than going towards the uncertainty of what it might be. What are the masculines manifesting, wanting to manifest? They want to just take everything higher to the next level. They've seen the interconnectedness of so many things. They've secured their balance, their healing. And now they've learned the rules, learned the tools to break the rules, something like that, whatever that saying is. And they want to specialize. They want to show the world who they've become and what they've learned. They really truly feel like it could help. And the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, so they are still waiting for, this says the Lord of the forces of life, so they're waiting for that aliveness to arise in them that indicates it's time to go forth. I've been channeling a lot of that from my divine masculine internal energy today in personal readings, actually, that is a very Taoist way of maneuvering in life. Is if you have a to-do list on any level, fun things, dutiful things, things you never want to have to do again, things that you're trying for the first time, if you have that to-do list and you feel energized or enlivened by something on that to-do list today, that means it's time. If you sort of muscle test that with what your body feels like in response to your to-do list, whatever that thing is on your to-do list that's like, it feels right to do that today, that's how you can decide, and energy organizes itself. If you tackle your to-do list with that methodology, it will be flow. It will be fun. It will be appropriate. It will be mind-blowing because the timing will be impeccable. So divine masculines are learning to do this and pay attention to when they are energized towards something. Even the drudgery has a time that you find you are energized for it because it just makes sense. It just feels right to do. Pay attention to that. Live your life by that knowing, by that instinct, by that intuition. It's a genuine confirmation, and they are wishing to draw on that more. Instead of the anxiety, this is the healed, settled, supportive, productive channeling of that. It removes the second guessing and the anxiety when we follow this knowing. What are the masculines wanting to manifest with the feminines? Joy and celebration. And there's that King of Wands. They want to curate. They want to take you on a date. I just heard, oh, we haven't had this energy in a while where the divine masculines want to take their counterpart on a date. I'm getting that it will be spontaneous and it will be a show of their mastery, because it will come in like the wind and they will want to sweep you off your feet. Wow. Oh, that was surprising. I got all choked up. It's like, oh, that was really surprising. It's kind of like that out of nowhere. I didn't feel like I would cough. That's the throat chakra though. So it feels like they may be waiting for divine timing to pounce, but there does seem to be in the potentials, the divine masculines curating or composing an opportunity to celebrate. For some, I'm seeing bridesmaid, I'm seeing proposals for some, so congratulations. They're waiting for the mood to strike, the moment to arrive. What is the clarifier? Here's the star, this destined path. We saw the star as the first energy, and that's the bigger picture coming in. In the inverse, it's like the now, when the moment strikes, when it's time. So the masculines are poised. The love is here, divine feminines. Don't believe for a second that it hasn't been. They haven't wanted to over promise and under deliver, and so they have been so masterful to hold back their energy from you until they were sure they wanted it all, until they were sure they could meet you there and never betray that. They have wanted to embody it impeccably, and so they've been watching this percolate, watching it grow for a while. What are the actions the masculines are taking in their lives? They are committed to their happiness. No more mediocre, no more less than 100% yes. If something isn't yes, 100%, they're not doing it. And that's another way of looking at why they haven't come forward and hoped you guys would get it right, you know? They haven't wanted to risk that yet. They wanted to be sure that you were sure. Divine feminine. They're looking for your readiness. The masculines are hunters. They can smell that from a mile away. Trust that, feminines. Trust that your masculine has the instincts to know, even sometimes beyond when you know. And trust the day will come that they will know. I'm feeling such a relief, feminines, that we don't have to worry that our masculines won't understand that. Yes, here's the Fool in the upright, this leap of faith that can come in when the masculines know. When they see that, we've got the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands. That's the passionate king, and that's the committed king. Beautiful stuff. What are the actions? Hang on. Are we on to the actions for towards the feminines? Yes, we are. So that's the action in general, that they're taking a leap of faith to show up with their full commitment to their happiness, to the real deal, to the authentic yes. With the feminine, they are in this Hanged Man, the pause, letting go of all manners of negativity and seeing the light. These are epiphanies that are happening as they let go of all of the storylines that are not supportive of love. Here's the Ten of Cups, Lord of perfected success. Here's a little bit more of that emerging. It's like all these cards are almost time. There are so many cards through this reading. This one too, the way this is configured, it's giving me this almost time energy throughout the whole reading. It's like this poise, the almost time. It's kicking off, it's sinking in, it's being revealed, it's happening. What can we see for the biggest challenge for the masculines at this time? bravely trusting that you're getting there too. Maybe you haven't had these conversations, or maybe they've been elusive if you have. But the Empress in the reverse means the abundance is still coming in. You're still going through your karma cleanup, your healing. Have patience, take heart, everybody. We are doing it, but it's still a work in progress. And Knight of Wands. So we're still deepening. We're still wanting it more. We thought we wanted it, and we're just wanting it more. We're seeing more ways to genuinely appreciate it as it becomes. You know, when we're impatient, we don't appreciate deeply enough. The more patience we have, the more we appreciate. And so if you don't have patience, you have much more appreciation available to you that's going to make you feel so good when you allow it to come to you in due time. If you want it now before it's fully ready, you won't appreciate as much. It won't be as good, but that's an inside job, and it won't be ready because it's a reflection of your unreadiness. That was a slinky, I'm seeing those slinky toys. That was a lot of blah, 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 blah. But rewind that and listen to it again, because it was good. What is the solution to this patience, readiness, gratitude? Trust. Trust that the gravity of this situation will just let the ball drop and find its goal. Surrender to it. Surrender to the love. Trust the becoming, twin flames. Love. Saturate yourself in the knowledge that love is here. Let it happen. Receive. Let it happen. The High Priestess. Allow the knowing, the mercy, humility, compassion, non-action, the magnetism. Create the charge, the excited anticipation. It's coming, it's happening, it's brewing, it's on its way. It's only a matter of time. What is the direction in the next few weeks? Well, we're getting to reciprocity, heartache. Here's that third party stuff. So there could be some crunchy, cringy third party things that are still preventing this equal give and take partnership that still have to be dealt with. There's still some healing that needs to happen. And looking at things through the appropriate eyes of love. So it's like a last contraction, a last birth pang in the next little while. So I'm getting some solo exploration and deep soul searching and accountability in how each counterpart is looking at why they're in union yet or not. And the Four of Swords, it beginning to sink in that it's been perfect timing, that it's shown us exactly what we've needed, that we've learned so much, we've come so far. And to just keep surrendering to the final, natural, organic way that this thing rolls out, because it's a template. It's not cosmic rocket science. This is something that is orchestrated by the nature of reality. It's inherent. It's a time capsule. It's a natural process. We just haven't been here before to trust it, to trust the process, the way that it happens. It's just like the caterpillar going into the cocoon and becoming a butterfly. How could a caterpillar know it would be a butterfly one day? How? And that's the same. That's the same. We're still in the cocoon. We might be at the part where we're squeezing out of the cocoon, going, what's this thing sticking out of my body? Okay, all you weirdos, I hope you have a wonderful night. Bye for now.